How do we better skill people at all levels, so not just graduates from university, to actually adapt and work in the new age we are going to be in, whether we like it or not. And my take is we have to embrace that, because it's not a choice. It's here, it's now, and it's changing every day, and we have to make sure we have the skills in our community to actually deal with that. And it's at entry level, be it straight out of school, out of TAFE, out of college, university, what have you. We have to be better prepared in that environment.
Yeah, perhaps Matt, I mean, you've built a few workforces from scratch. Like, that must be a different set of challenges, getting the right people.
I find it extraordinary that there's not more of a discussion going on in Australia about the urgent need to focus on STEM and the urgent need to not wait for some larger sort of institutional change in the tectonic plates of education curriculums to start adapting. I think we just need to start doing things more quickly. We need a sense of urgency. I'll give you an example. I mean, you know, my 10-year-old is a huge fan of code.org, and it started when we still lived in the US, and it was the Hour of Code, which is this big initiative to get kids to just do 1 hour of code, and it's a very sort of gamified, easy way to get started. And it's not to determine that people should all become coders. It's to give you an insight into how technology is creating the games that you're playing, is impacting all the things that are going to be part of the new world. So to me, we just have to get more people doing that and aware of that in a way that's, I don't know, job one. If it's not job one, it's pretty close, right? Two, if you come to Australia now and you realise the potential is to create a visible sort of track record that shows you are earnest and hardworking and sincere and you have potential. The big problem is information asymmetry. How do you know that those entry-level positions, if someone's been through school, not everyone can be a Rhodes Scholar, but you haven't gone to jail, you're somewhere in between. So okay, that's almost the whole population, right? And so how do you discriminate? Okay, well, who's got potential? And how do you empower young people and say, well, you can do things, here's what you could do. If you're an Uber driver now, I met someone, you know, this morning, recent arrival in Australia. Their plan is to spend 6 to 9 months working as an Uber driver, not because they want to make that their career, but because they want to build a reputation of showing that I have a track record of providing great service to people. Their dream is to open a restaurant, a cafe, and they want to start to build a reputation that's evidence of that track record. The things you can do now, I mean, you can say, well, I'm not going to be a coder, but I can start doing bug fixing and earn almost nothing, but build up an ODare score, a freelancer reputation, and do it in my spare time. I mean, there's just a boundless world of opportunities that don't require lots of talent. It's just there's this information asymmetry between people not realising that that's what they could do versus the benefit of doing that and evidencing a track record. And then you go to an interview, or you submit the resume if you can't meet face to face, and you've done something in 6 months that, you know, sets you apart. I think we just have to encourage that.
You know, Clive, you know, we all confront change and fear it, but I think we're probably very fortunate to be in a moment in the Darwinian evolution of whatever this thing is called life, that the next 10 years are going to be dramatically exciting. Now, sure, some of us are going to be winners and some of us are going to be losers. I'm more concerned about us than I am about those people coming into the workforce. And you know, Dave knows Brian's a big fan of a book called The Second Machine Age. Great book to read. Read it. It's a fabulous read. It just says the CEDA report's right, basically. But you then look at it and go, what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities for our children and others coming into the workforce? We're the ones that are going to have to deal with the disruption of what do I do next in terms of our let's call it self-worth, and what sort of role we'll play in both the community and in commercial life. But to me, I'd rather be worried about us, as in, you know, people further into our career saying we've got to repurpose ourselves, particularly in that sort of middle academic career path, versus those that are saying, what do I want to do? And we can get the curriculum right. I think that's just a matter of agreeing on who's going to say what and how we're going to focus our attention.
We've got to hurry up though.
We've got to hurry up. STEM, yeah, everyone's saying STEM, STEM, STEM.
I was talking to my 14-year-old daughter trying to avoid the cobbler's shoes situation. So I was talking to my 14-year-old daughter and I was talking around technology with her, and I talked programming. And the shutters went up, not interested.
Yes, that's the voice, isn't it?
But I then started talking to my daughter about, you know, user experience design. And suddenly the lights just came on.
Great example.
And we were still talking technology. But there was a stereotypical technology, it equals programming, and it will always be part of what we're talking about. You know, life as software is becoming more and more real. but it's everything else is in that space. And as soon as we started talking about user experience and what that meant, and being in design space, and actually all the things, you could just see the whole body language of this 14-year-old girl just changing, and we were having a conversation around technology. We weren't having a conversation about something surreal or not real. These are real jobs that people need to be, skilled to get involved in, or we need to train, or frankly, just have to have a passion for.
Yeah.
But how do we ignite that passion?
Well, and the age is right. You need to get them when they're 12, 13, 14, when they're making those choices about what subjects to do in high school.
That's absolutely right. And building on that, I mean, I think the big thing is fear of failure that we talked about earlier. If that example of someone at 14 can then say, well, I'm just going to try this because I'm not afraid of failing, and I'm going to put together 3 UX concepts and see if they work in some sort of cheap test where accidentally borrowing Dad's credit card out of his wallet and throwing $20 of Google AdWords at it and seeing what happens, whatever the sort of lean agile approach might be. Imagine they all are complete unmitigated failures. If you're going for a design internship and you say, what I learnt from this failure at 14 was that it's not as simple and therefore you need to think about X, Y, Z, boom, I'm engaged, I'm super interested, right? And I'm not afraid of failure. It's the right age to do it for that reason as well, which is we haven't conditioned that person to say, if it doesn't, I mean, what are the neighbours going to say if that doesn't work, right? I mean, that's not at that age a priority. Great time to run some experiments.